Chassidish Shtibel in Ireland. He was a Munkacher. He was by the Minchas Elazar. He ended up in Ireland. He was there all his years. Like a Shmaka Yid. I didn't think I would find him in Dublin, Ireland. And he had a Shtibel, and I went to him for Shalashudas. So it was very geschmack. He told me stories about the Minchas Elazar, the Munkacher. This is in the late 1999, I think, or 98, 97. In the 90s, I was there. So he told me a vart. He said, why do you say va, voy, and vom? So this is like a classic vart, a real Yiddish vart. He says, you think the Jews kept Shabbos? They came here, they kept Shabbos, they came to America, they kept Shabbos. It was impossible. They had a store, and the store stayed open. But it's Friday evening, she has to go light candles. So he said, I'll stay in the store. It's 4 o'clock. You go light candles. So it's v'yanuchu vo. She is the one who has Shabbos. He's still in the store. In the morning, she has to keep the store open. He has to go to shul. He's the gabbai. He's the president. He's the shamash. He gives the aliyahs. He has mafta today for yahrzeit. She stays in the store. He has to go to shul because he's, the macher. So it's v'yanuchu vo. He says, because it's Shabbos, they close the store a little earlier. So Mela Shalashudis is v'yanuchu vo. Not bad, huh?
Good work.
I said, "Bechead for them." A Munkacher Yid. I don't remember his name. Maybe I don't remember his name. That's what Voy and Vom. Yeah. But it's not stam, it's a random thing. They decided, Hakarain, Vo. Well, I understand. What Shabbos morning, Shabbos is not her anymore. There's the femininity, there's the feminine Shabbos, there's the masculine Shabbos, and there's the unity of both Shabbosim. There's Makabel, there's Mashpia, and there's the synthesis. Shabbos is feminine. L'chadoidi likras kala, that's Friday night, ne Shabbos ne Kabbalah. Then there's v'yanuchu voy, Shabbos becomes masculine. Even though the word Shabbos is a feminine word, because sof at the end. And then Shalashudas, there's the complete unity. In the Oisius, in more spiritual Oisius, it's basically, you have the yesh, the makabel, coming out of the yesh to connect to the ayin. Eitz hadas, Eitz hachayim, and then the complete unity. So it's 3 stages of Shabbos, 3 different stages. That's why he says Friday evening, Shabbos Leila, is Aliyah Sabirudim. It's like basically you take the world up with you. Misha Tarach be'erev Shabbos echel b'Shabbos. Reb Tzaddik HaKoyen says that's why we turn around by L'chadoidi. Why do you turn around at the end of L'chadoidi? You can't just run away into Shabbos. You have to turn around and see if you left anything behind. If you left anything behind, it's not good. You have to take it with you. In other words, before you go into Shabbos, you turn around. Because you're reclaiming the whole past. You're reclaiming the whole week. That's the first 6 Mizmorim. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it all has an aliyah into Shabbos. That's the first avodah of Shabbos. Then you have Shabbos D'Yoyma, Shabbos by day. This is a menucha that's not coming from the lack of work. It's a menucha that's much more internal. There's serenity that is in contrast to the work. It's like, I'm done. But that's basically the serenity that comes from the work, from the malacha, from the avodah. Or in other words, it's from the avodah sabirurim. So it's the Eitz Hadas where the birurim, the toiv, is oila to connect to the Eitz HaChayim. That's Friday night. Shabbos D'Yoyma is the Eitz HaChayim itself. Eitz HaChayim itself. What's Pshat Eitz HaChayim itself? It's already Shabbos itself. It's not Shabbos as a consequence of the 6 days of the week. The person finished the battle. It's not the serenity that comes from the battle. It's a serenity that comes from the internal relationship, from internal oneness. There's overcoming resistance, which is very powerful, and then there is inner alignment, inner tainuk. But then there's something even deeper, because what did he say before? He said, Yovel al Yuval Yishalach Sharashav, Yovel Ishnasa Chamishim, V'hoya K'etz Shosel al Pal Gemayim is K'etz is Eitz HaChayim, al Yuval Yishalach Sharashav Ishnasa Chamishim after the 49, which is L'mayla Me'etz HaChayim. The Zohar says, Hayesh Ba'etz Im Oyin. There's something even higher than Eitz, the ayin itself. The ayin itself. So you see what you have. You have three levels. You have the yesh. You have connecting the yesh to the ayin. And then you have the ayin in its core. And that's the third meal of Shabbos. Or to put it differently, you have the Friday night, which is coming from the yesh, and all the birudim of the yesh as it ascends, Eitz Hadas. You have the yesh connecting to the ayin, aligned with the ayin, which is Eitz HaChayim. And then you have the ayin itself that transcends the yesh. In the lashon of the Maimer, you have the Ava of Mamala Kalalman. Mamala Kalalman is the place where yesh lives. That's what God wants. He fills every yesh. But when you could be megala the elokus of it, that's being mevarer the toy from the Eitz Hadas. And that birur is what creates Friday night. You have a deeper level, which is Shabsa Diyoyma, where the yesh becomes aligned with the ayin. It becomes connected. That's the Eitz HaChayim. It's beyond the birur. There's a complete oneness. Then you have the ayin itself, not the yesh becomes one with ayin. The ayin itself, the source, the ayin itself, like Soivav Kalalman, the ayin itself, that gets revealed on Suda Shlishis. There is, as you could see, very often the Baal HaTanya said a Maimer, and afterwards he said a second one as a beer, as an explanation during the week, or sometimes the next Shabbos. Sometimes they're very long, sometimes they're short. This Maimer, it's so bekitzer. He starts with the two avos, he goes to the eights, he says the Mekoshish, it's so brief that there's a beer afterwards, that he said afterwards. You see, it says K'tzas beer al posek Mekoshish Etzamanal, where a lot of Nekudas become clarified. Not all of them, but a lot of Nekudas become clarified. So, but the Biyurim are usually very, very Kabbalistic, because he's trying to show the references and the sources of everything and how he came to it. So they're usually very